Sweet.
I've done TV. I know this stuff.
Yeah, you're on this.
So, let's hide this.
Where do I look?
Where do you look? I don't know.
She's doing like take one.
Yeah, take one.
That's not Humpty
Where do you
Dumpty.
want Jeff to be looking?
You're chocolate.
Over here. Hey, so Jeff.
Hi.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good. Tell me about this story. How did it come about?
Humpty Dumpty. Yeah. Well, people always
Okay.
people know the nursery rhyme Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah.
But then what? It's always been a question when,
Yeah, Humpty Dumpty. What is it? What's the rhyme?
he had a great fall.
Had a great fall.
All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again.
Right.
But then what?
But then what?
Right?
Yeah.
I think a beautiful part of education is curiosity.
Right.
And that as adults, we never stop asking questions.
Yes.
And so that was a question as an author and publisher now that we were curious about.
Yeah.
Is where's the rest of the story? And can we create something new and exciting and kind of take something that was the end but make it brand new and start it again.
Make it better.
Make it,
Yeah.
continue to innovate and kind of change it.
So then when you wrote the story, like what, how did you choose the messages to put in the new ending?
So Tosca and I, who worked together on the story, always work on stuff to do with kind of character. Because education is shifting from what you know to who you are as a person. And that's what we want to look at.
Right.
The behaviors we have, the skills we have, who we are as people.
Right.
Because this book is all about being caring.
Yeah.
And about understanding that we should be showing empathy for others and helping others, and not only others but ourselves and the planet. And
Yeah, so like Farmer Joe, he was really kind and helpful. Yeah.
he helped Humpty out, and then Humpty helped him out, right?
Yeah, that's right. He cleaned the barn lots. Yeah. So what are some of the takeaways that you hope parents and kids get as they read the book and interact with the story over time?
I think in helping Humpty discover who he is, I hope they kind of question that same thing and help kind of figure out who they are too. I think we all kind of go through life and we try to figure out who we are, and what it comes down to more than anything is who we are as a person, what we would do to, help others, and how we grow, because we never stop learning, ever.
Never.
We never stop learning, and we never stop kind of growing as people.
Never stop exploring.
Yeah.
So if somebody reading the book wants to create a new ending to your new ending, what were some questions that you and Tosca were asking yourself while you wrote the story to create your new ending that they could
like
ask
that.
themselves to write a new ending to your new ending?
I like
to
that.
Humpty Dumpty.
I think it's, in a way, always trying to strive to answer who you want to become. So I think you always have to ask yourself kind of, what it is that you feel you need to work on to improve. What are your strengths? It's important to celebrate our strengths, right? It's important to celebrate that there's awesome things about all of us.
Yes.
But there's other sides of things that we can always work on. And I think that people need to be open-minded to that. It's not a bad thing to have faults or weaknesses or anything. That's human. But I think it's good to always think about, hey, I can work on that though, right? And be open to change, because change is scary, but it's also awesome sometimes, right?
Yeah.
You have to embrace that. Right, little man?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, because up until now we've made books and ebooks, but nothing interactive like this.
Yeah.
And so it took it to a whole nother level. Like to see them playing with it today, it was really cool. Because our print
This was
books,
the first time.
it was, that kids have actually played with our books. So we've seen kids read our books, but the fact you got to play games and like go moo and have fun with that part, that's really cool to see. It brings a whole new element, right?
Yeah.
Kids not only are learning, but they're having fun. And
Yeah.
it's bringing those two together that I think this is why it's so great for not only parents, but for teachers and classrooms. So I'm excited.
So what's the best time for people to be reading this book? Like, who's it for?
I think it's for overall. It's for children. I mean, you can see different ages
Yeah.
get it. Some will read it themselves. Some will have it read to them.
Because you can turn the narration off.
You can turn it off so they can read it. Yeah, so you could read it out loud to your brother.
She's excited about that.
Yeah.
I love reading. Love, 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 love.
She loves reading.
But I think it's more than just a story, right? I think it's a discussion starter.
Right.
It's just like any great book. It's about reading something and then having a chat about what are those big lessons and what's it truly about, and how can you take that and kind of do something in your own life.
Yeah, exactly.
With it.
Yes.
So, okay.
Yeah.
This is interesting. Digital apps and reading.
Right.
Do you typically allow your kids to read this kind of thing? Do you think they're valuable? What are your feeling towards print versus digital?
We do a balance, yeah. And so, I mean, I think it's good to, if the kid is attracted to something that allows them to read on a digital device, then it's okay. And I make sure my kids also have physical books too, and a balance of not just iPad, like just a balance of things. So, but it is, I mean, it does engage the kids to have the digital app, and having the games, like in this particular story, was really fun, like because Axel, he's 5, and so he may sometimes lose his attention. Like, it's kind of nice to have a balance of just a little bit of reading and then game, and then a little bit of reading, then game. And so it kept him, like, we sat here for over half an hour, 40 minutes reading. Like, that's a good amount of time for a child his age to be like actually focused in the middle of the afternoon on a weekend, you know, reading when he's not particularly tired. So that's like, there's definitely value to that. But, you know, within reason.
Yeah.
That's my parenting style, is within reason. You know, as long as I know what's happening. And yeah, I think I've said enough.
When I think of stuff I use in the classroom, I guess the question is it about games or the content?
Yeah.
Right? That's kind of always what's on my mind. So
What do you mean?
because I know, like, okay, you could allow any kid to play any app.
Yeah.
So there's also that. It's not only the balance, but maybe
Yeah, I would say as a parent, it's also to make a decision and like decide why your child is going to be engaging with this particular app, whether it's a digital book or an educational app or whatever, but just actually make a moment, just like anything, to make a parenting decision that this is what you want your child to be doing. So like, be engaged before you even hand over the device. Like, it's not just like, hey, you're busy, like, I'm busy, here, do this. It's more like, and it could be I'm busy and do this, but at least like make a choice up front that this is something that adds value to your own parenting, your child's life, their experience, and can be more than, it's not like a digital babysitter. It's something that also creates value to your child's life. Oh, I think the kids are having a little fun.
Maybe back there.
Fun.
So it's, I guess,
But I think it's the same for parents. Like, for grown-ups, you have to make meaningful choices about how you choose to spend your time to make sure that it's going to create lasting value in your life, not just like quick wins and then you feel like terrible after. So same with the kids, the choices for the children, it's like choosing something that adds value. And I would say, like, so with this book and the app, like, it was really fun. It was a fun experience to be able to play with them. I was like as engaged, like, I want to press the buttons too, and then the story was cute and engaging as well, and it was just like the right amount of play and content and education. And I think what's nice is the message, like, is just in there, and it's just, you don't question it because it's fun. Then you just take it in. You're like, cool, that's awesome. So because it's a good message, then you know you're going to walk away with probably some good conversation. I could see possibly some parents talking about Humpty Dumpty in their day-to-day, about and the recycling and the different, maybe not milking cows, but if you're an urban parent, but finding some way to integrate it. So yeah.
Very cool.
Yes.